King Alcohol has many forms by which he catches man. He is a beast of many horns, and ever thus has been.
For there's rum,
And gin,
and beer,
and wine,
and
brandy of logwood hue,
and hawk,
and port,
and flip, combined
to make a man look blue.
Well, you.
Hey, what's up?
You had to run the show?
I've seen all this beer coming across the table and I'm getting excited. So it's another rendition of Blind Pigs. Polly Boy.
What's up? We usually have a better intro, but Cowboy's not here.
Yeah, he's a good intro boy. Well,
No, it's not howdy ho. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
yeah, something
Yeah,
like
yeah. We usually got a guy who does that for us.
that. He's a weirdo. But we're back in Rochester. The old Putts. This is our second visit to Putts,
Second?
right?
Yeah, it's
Well, our second show at Putts. Since our second visit.
Yeah, I
Been here
mean, yeah.
numerous times.
I don't,
But,
yeah. But yeah, it's a good. I love the local bar seat. It's
Yeah.
it's a lovely local bar.
the Pirates aren't here today yet.
No pirate bikers.
No.
That was
Not
fun. Our
yet,
last one, some moo and somebody mooing and somebody and a pirate biker.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure, what was going on that day, but it was interesting.
We had kind of a hodgepodge of guests today. I don't even know how to.
Boy, do we ever!
Yeah, and we got some beer and podcasters and
Musicians
I mean,
and
this is awesome. So
all kinds of stuff.
we're kind of going to start this out with just kind of a free for all, like I said. So we'll kind of go around the table and start with Ike and kind of introduce yourself and who you are, what you do, and then we'll just kind of bullshit and drink beer.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, guys. First of
Yeah,
all, it's good to see
absolutely.
you guys. And nice to meet all you guys. Thanks to Miss Jessica Shafer right here. She's pretty awesome. And but no, my name's Ike. My first name, actually, my name's Kelley Isenhower, but everybody calls me Ike. Honestly, makes kind of sense. My dad had that name back in the '60s, anyway. So as I'm in the band, so no, I just play music all around the country, all around the city, and I love coming up. I've been playing putts up here for a while. Monica's been an awesome person to call up. She's like, just call me and get a gig anytime you want. I'm like, really? It's that simple? So, I try to take advantage of that. So I try to get up to Rochester as much as I love coming up here. I've been coming up for about 15 years playing gigs and met some of my best friends in the world are up here.
It's a great little local town.
I love it. And I
is.
love these little lake towns like,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
being in the city, you guys in Annapolis, sometimes it's nice just to get away,
Yep.
kind of relaxing, and there's no pressure here, no stress here. It seems like so I like coming up here. So I just they get me to come up here like 4 or 5 times a year and just hang out with some awesome people, play some music, and hopefully everybody has a lot of fun. So
Hell yeah.
and luckily we get to come up here and drink some really good beer today.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, it better be good, man.
For some reason, I think we've asked him here a few times, maybe, and now now all of a sudden there's beer here, and he shows up.
I got this one timed right. So
And Jessica,
I'm Jessica.
our good friend Jessica, who doesn't need an introduction 'cause she's been on our show numerous times now, and the lovely Jessica we love, and you kind of set this up for us the first time and this time, and we just love coming here, and so we owe a lot to you.
She's kind of like our Rochester pimp,
Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yep,
right?
yep, yeah, pretty much.
you need a jacket that says that.
Yep.
I want my velvet later.
There you go. Sweet.
But you have a lot of new stuff going on. We'll get into that a little bit later, but it's great to have you here again.
Thank you.
And Monica will be here shortly, I'm sure. And
Yeah, she's worked like 3 doubles, so she
Yeah,
went home
yeah.
to nap for
probably
a
fell
second or
asleep.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
says she's going to shower. She's probably sleeping. And we have some beer boys here today.
Yo, what's up?
Some craft beer boys, and which is needed in Putts. So why don't you guys introduce yourself? And
Go for it, Jaren. Well, as my brother just said, I'm Jaren, Jaren Strem.
Oh, and I'm Logan, and we're the brothers of Wolfoose.
Wolfoose.
It is
Wolfoose.
Wolfoose. Yeah, everybody was looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Wolf and
I
Moose.
looked it up a little bit earlier on. He did, he's like,
Yeah, we're still working on the website, so it's
Wolfoose.
kind of hard to find us a little bit.
But Instagram and YouTube.
Yep.
Shout out
There you
quick.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so basically we just we like beer, so we decided to start making some a couple years ago, and then basically since COVID, like all of us, just wanted to find a hobby to actually start committing to, because what the hell else do you have to do?
Right.
Yeah.
So
Get
we
home
just
and
started.
drink.
Yeah, exactly. Get home and drink, make some beer, and so we just wanted to start doing that. Maybe make some content on it. And as of right now, we're just kind of slowly starting to grow and still learning. I mean,
You guys do this on your own? Did you work anywhere before this as brewers, or you just kind of?
I've done some home
brewing?
brewing with my father-in-law. We talked
Okay.
about off this. He is a co-owner of Grand Junction, and he does a lot of home brewing himself. So one of their beers on their tap is actually his recipe. So I've home brewed with him a lot, and that's kind of where we both got into it. And I started involving Logan into that. And from there, we just decided, why not just make our own?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
I mean-
cheaper than buying it from the store, even.
Yeah, like most people, we started doing extract, and then Charlie from Grand Junction, he was the first one who really showed us all grain. And that was like lighting the fire, man. Of just like, let's just do this instead, because if we're gonna do it, let's just do it right.
Did you do the brew in a bag?
Nope.
Thing?
Basically
How'd you-
skipped that and just went straight to like mash tun and kind of started committing to that. So like I said, we're still learning.
These are one of our first all grain beers.
Oh, really nice.
So
the second or third rendition of it, but like one of the first ones we actually made, and we're like, this is.
I still have a couple of our first all grain beers, and I'm still afraid to open them.
Yeah.
They've been there for like 4 years now, and the last one I accidentally just kind of dropped back into the cooler, and it exploded like a pineapple shrapnel grenade. We had a little problem with the priming sugar, so I'm literally afraid to even rattle the bottles that are in my fridge.
Yeah, we just did the exact opposite with the porter that we made a few months ago. I thought I used priming sugar, and then I realized after I bottled them all that we used lactose. So none of them have carbonated, and they are just wasted.
Yeah, we ran a whole bottle run. Maybe halfway through before we
Halfway
realized,
before
and they had sealed them before.
You did it.
Before everybody realized nobody put priming sugar in them.
Yep.
So we had to open them back up, and we kind of slowly poured them all back in and did it again.
Yeah, we tried to dabble some table sugar in there to,
Didn't work.
did not work. Do
Didn't
not
do
recommend that
anything.
ever. Yeah.
I keep opening it every like 2 weeks and just see maybe it's carbonated this time. No.
No. At that point, you just need to stick it in one of those things you like, the Soda Stream.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
So just Soda Stream it and see what happens.
Yeah. I don't know if you've had many like super flat porters, but they are not enjoyable at all.
No. Maybe use it for a beer float with some ice cream in it.
That's a good idea.
At least make some use out of it.
Anything other than straight out of a glass, honestly.
I like
because
that
you
idea.
lose the carbonation when you put the ice cream in, anyways, on any of those
Throw in
things.
some chili or something. Or, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
maybe for
something.
cooking.
We needed some new ideas, man, and that might be it.
Because they've been sitting in one of our rooms, just collecting dust.
and you don't want to dump all beer. I mean,
No.
Can't.
Got to do something with it.
It's just like you hope maybe
But it's
it'll
just
get
naturally going to carbonate. In the
Yes, literally, as dumb as it sounds, that is exactly what my hope is.
It's not yogurt. It's not going to start.
A man can hope, all right? Crushing my dreams.
Just waiting for
Some more
technology
yeast
to
in
catch
it,
up. And yeah. Oh shit.
Man, put me down.
Dude's using the force, man. Carbonate. All right, well,
shit.
gentlemen, thanks for showing up.
Yeah, let's
thanks for
take
coming out here.
We'll take a quick 5, then we'll kind of break everybody
yeah,
up
we-
and kind of do some bullshit about what everybody's got going on. But let's take a 5, and so we can pour some of these
Pour some
beers.
beers, and then then we'll hit around.
This is Monica at Putt's Bar and Grill. Come on in. Our kitchen is always open.
Blind Pig Confessions is the greatest podcast there ever was. My name is Dave Smiley from WZPL, and if you don't listen to this show, you're dumb.
Hi, I'm Haley. This is Chavaltier Brewery, and you're listening to Blind Pig Confessions.
Hello,
Right, back. Done. Drink.
back at Putts.
Still at Putts.
Still here.
Still Putts. We just had to take a break, crack open beers, do a little off the air,
Yeah,
chit-chatting
so
and stuff. And,
we did
learning
crack
a
some
few
beers,
things,
some
so.
Wolfoose. And did you say this is one of your first beers that you guys made, or
Your
One of our
first-
first all grains that we
all
were
grains, right?
satisfied
Okay.
with.
Okay, right. There
We'll
you
say
go,
that
yes.
at least we were satisfied with.
Yeah.
Anyway.
The first one you allowed other people to
Actively try.
actively try.
Yes.
Yeah, that porter we may have. Jaron may have tracked one down from one of our friends that he gave it to make him not drink it.
Did we talk about that on the mic?
I know a
can't
place
remember
that'll-
now. Or we're off the mic.
there's
when
a
we
place
talked
that'll
about
buy
that.
that.
Oops.
It all
That's
starts
not
blending
fun.
together.
We'll get
Yeah.
there. We'll
Yeah.
get there. And it's even early, man. We haven't. Yeah. No, it all starts blending together usually after the first hour.
Yeah,
of
we're just
drinking
pre-gaming
and
right
talking.
But
right.
tell us a little bit about the beer, and it smells delicious. And we all had it, but it smells. That was the first thing. Was the aroma is really, really nice.
Yeah, it's great.
Really nice.
So we call it a pale ale, but it's a double dry hopped pale ale with Citra and Eldorado hop is the
Colorado.
dry hop, and then the boil hops we use Centennial. So we kind of went off of like what Two Hearted does,
And Mosaic.
because we kind of did that similar thing. Because who doesn't like Two Hearted? It's a solid beer.
Absolutely.
And then our grain build, we put a little rye in because we wanted it a little spicy, and you kind of get it
I
at the
dig
back
it.
end.
Yeah,
No, I
it's
get it.
very light, but I get it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. That balances out that bitter. I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we really want something you could just crush. Like
Yeah.
we were talking about off the mic, but I mean, you could sit and drink a lot of them. We don't want something that's, like those IPAs. They can get really just like make your eyes squint, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
have one of them, and then you got to switch to a totally different beer.
Yep.
So we didn't want to do that. So we tried to keep the bitterness a little down and get it really just aromatic. Get some.
I've thought about this a lot. We want balance. Balance is the key.
Well,
You
and
want
that's
what were you gonna say?
And that's been the thing over the years. It's a regular theme on a lot of stuff. Was in the early days, everyone was just trying to make people cry and have an anaphylactic shock on
so much bitterness.
Some of the early days, just like those
hops.
that big. I mean, in Indiana, that for the first 5, everybody was just hop.
Like I would like a
9
trip
years ago,
five times
everybody
off
started doing
off the track.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but no, sorry, back to your balance. But that's.
But yeah, the balance. And nowadays, everybody with the dry hops, everybody's putting such a heavy dry hop and no supporting hop in the boil to get that little bit of bitterness. I've even heard some people are not even boil hopping at all and just going straight dry hop.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not balanced. You get a good floralness, and that has its place, but it's not a balanced beer.
Right, but if all you get is floral and then you're no taste
one-dimensional.
on it, that's all.
And
you're
people are
getting.
struggling with, in my opinion, with even their grain build.
Yeah.
There's nothing to support even those hops either. Right. So you're just getting almost like a hop water.
Keep it simple, stupid. You know.
Yeah.
Don't get too crazy with it.
We did the rye in that Deepa we did with Copacetic, right? Because we did a rye Deepa with Manahan over at Copacetic, and just trying to get that little bit extra, something there at
Just
the back.
something.
Yeah.
It's something when you drink it. And that's
a
what
little
we're
darker,
looking for.
a
Yeah,
little
exactly.
darker, a little fuller.
Just low complexity and
Exactly.
But Wolfoose, we're just we've seen that there's not really a media style brewing company, and that's kind of right now what we're trying to go for. So we obviously want to make good beer because that's going to be what gets us going, really.
Sure, of
you know,
course, yes.
because if you're going to be a brewery, you need to make good beer. But
No, in all cases. There's a few I know, but hey, whatever.
Fortunately, yeah.
True.
On paper.
Yes.
So yeah, we really want to focus on the digital space, right? So we want to be able to have people, whether it's here or in California or somewhere else, be able to be a part or see at least the Wolfoose brand, right? Not just be about a storefront somewhere, but be able to we have friends in California now that are at least rocking our shirts, but just get the word out and have us grow that way, and really just focus on that space because there's no one doing that.
Yeah.
No one's doing anything content wise. No one's doing at least entertaining wise in beer, and that just seems crazy because beer is one of the most entertaining things there is.
Social. That's what it's all about.
And it's social. It's let's just incorporate that and also make some damn good beer.
I agree.
So what are you guys brewing off of?
Jaren?
Equipment. I mean, how big a system you got? Equipment. I mean, you're running I said. I think I asked before. Are you we started our first all grain. We were doing the brewing bag because we just didn't have the space or some of the money to expand out to the multiple systems, mash tun, and anything like that. So we were real compact. Or we're brewing off of. We've also got a.
Now we just go to breweries and brew with them.
Well, that's true too. What's that other system sitting in my garage?
The Grainfather?
The Grainfather. So we also have, which is still basically a brewing bag. It's just there's not a bag. It's just a big colander.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I make spaghetti in it too.
So we've been making
experiments, man.
We've been making 5-gallon batches, and we've been using an 8-gallon pot or boil pot, and then we just use a big cooler.
We have the cooler right
That's
now.
what we use to.
We're starting pretty basic still, but we did just buy a big 15-gallon kettle, so we're trying to upscale and start doing 10-gallon batches because we do want to get into kegging it too.
Right. We picked up and we tried a couple. Cowboy had bought the system, and he started working on the carbonation using the keg and keg carbonating and all that instead of dealing with priming sugar and bottles and everything. And bottles.
Possible.
Just the hassle of it.
Bottle party, it was the bottle parties doing it in the early time. It's 6 hours just to, because we would be brewing the next batch while the other half of the team is bottling. There's 5 of us there, and we're already drunk, so it's going slower.
Drinking so you forget the priming sugar. And this doesn't work. So
it's always fun though.
Did you guys wash these bottles?
It'll be good, man. It'll be good.
Somebody else is drinking it.
Is that a cheaper process?
What, the bottles? In a way, if you can get hold of the bottles, and reuse if you're not, if you're kind of on your small distribution out to friends and things like that.
There's a glass shortage right now, so bottles are even getting harder to find. Glass bottles.
Yeah, so it's easier just to keg them and at that point start buying little pony kegs and
we made
a
how to bottle video.
I was actually going to go into that a little bit later. Yeah, I was researching you guys.
The comments below, everybody, there was a bunch that said
on Reddit,
you should just keg.
The other guy said the best way to bottle is by kegging. I was like, I get it, man, but like, come on.
Like all those times growing up when I was taking the bottles back and getting the 5 cents for them. But, well, you guys aren't that old. You remember, right?
Yeah,
back in the day when you could get money by returning glass bottles.
Michigan,
10 cents.
Still Michigan still got it?
Still got it.
They do, yeah. They make you pay for it up front now, don't they?
Yeah.
Like when you buy it, you have to buy it. You have to pay for them. And then
so it's like a core charge when you buy a battery for your car.
Exactly.
Yep.
Here's an extra 10 cents. You'll get it back if you get the bottle back. Yeah, that's not happening. That's a good gamble they're doing there. That's a great scam they've got going on. Yeah, ask drunk people to bring their bottles back.
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah.
It's a tax.
You're lucky. Yeah, you're lucky. We're not just because most of the time, just throwing them in the air, shoot them, or throw them at other people. Come on, there's no way you're going to get enough money back.
I mean, we're buying bottles, and you give them to friends. Like, hey, hold on to these. Yeah, right. You never get them back. Like, who's gonna hold on to one bottle for you or two bottles
for 10 cents?
Right. And then trying to
myself. Like, you drink it and then just throw it in the trash and done. And then you have to dig it out later when you're not as drunk.
Or if you're snagging bottles from other places, they still got labels on them. You're trying to get labels off. You're like, this is not macro brew. It's okay. I'm just.
We're small.
Yeah. Why are all your bottles in PBR bottle?
Yeah, work with what you got. It'd be a surprise though. Hey, you would open a PBR and all of a sudden you get one of these. I mean, I wouldn't be mad.
Did you have the big drying tree thing?
No,
too?
we haven't invested in that yet.
Not yet.
But I think, like we said, we're trying to go to kegs. So
There's
there's
nothing to invest anymore. We might have one of those still if you want it.
We do, yeah.
Yeah, we had bought it's like a tree. It would just start. We should. I need to get that from Jordan. I'll just use that for my Christmas tree next year. Because literally they just go up and you just stack more and more.
And then they dry.
They dry round things on there, and you just let them, and any water gathers in the bottom. It was great.
Yeah, I mean that's why I went to the big bottles because it takes half the time to just do those, and it's like I'm not spending 3 hours bottling beer anymore.
That sucks.
So we made a video on it.
Yeah, that's where I was looking. Yeah, I was looking at your stuff.
Why I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I was looking at your stuff this morning, and so that's a good educational video on what not to do anymore. Then you'll make a how to keg carbonate video next. And
exactly.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing? Just out of our curiosity, because we keep trying to dabble into video, but we're neither of us skilled enough to edit it after the fact. Pretty much. I've got like all the stuff, the gimbals and kind of things, but I can never get it going. What were you guys using for yours? Just phone, or you got a?
We have a legit camera.
Legit camera.
Yeah. It was
Logan
kind of
had
Polaroid
when he was into.
It was kind of lucky. My buddy Phil Kime, he went and moved down to South America a couple years ago. He's back up now, but when he was moved down there, he needed money, so he sold me his really, really nice camera for
the beer.
Yeah, like a little bit of money, and so we have that, and it's basically sitting in the closet for 2 years, and then I found it again. I was like, oh my gosh, we got this thing.
Nice.
It's like, might as well use it.
We did some filming with a GoPro, but it's just not very good quality.
Yeah. Come out the same.
Strapping it to your head while you're brewing.
Yeah, and then
action
shots. It flips weird, and then you got to try and turn it in your editing.
When they first came out, they were awesome. Though it was like, oh, these are awesome.
Yeah.
Now they
they have their purpose. I don't think it's in tutorial videos for brewing because it's just like
But you guys have the background for like that kind of editing. You said you like the media side of things and doing that. So what's your background in that?
So
to be honest, I have none.
Okay.
I'm very good with technology,
really
so
funny.
I actually just
exactly.
I am too.
Jumped in.
That's all I do is I do the technology part and let them do their thing, and then. But if it comes to artistic, like editing or even our website, I'm the technical side. I can get the website running, but the content would be horrible. It's
you don't have the patience there.
Yeah, it's going to look like a MySpace. Well, my OCD gets stuck. It's going to look like a MySpace page, just shit scattered everywhere. I don't know how I passed my, web design class in college.
You're an engineer.
I know. Nope. I am an engineer. I can set it up exactly, but artistic content in there, way impossible for me. That's why he edits, because if I edited our shows, even just these, we'd never get them out. because I'd just be like, nah, that doesn't sound good. Cut that. Shit, I got to start over.
Yeah, I mean, I did a little in school. But I don't know if we talked about this yet on the mic or not, but like we're still learning, right? So like all this, it's all a learning process. So like, do we have a real big background in video? No, but everyone starts somewhere. So
And with the amount of content out there nowadays, you can
just gotta do
you
it.
can see what other people do, and you can kind of take
Emulate
pieces.
it.
That's what we do. We take pieces of what we think, oh, that looks cool. So hey, we'll try and use that in our video now in whatever editing technique or whatever. So,
I gotcha.
and with the app, we use Filmora, which is
That's okay.
really good. It's a
Yeah.
good editing system, and I mean, you
Adobe,
just play
I
around
think,
it.
is the standard, I think, right? Is
yeah,
the
yeah,
photo
it's just like
studio or
Filmora is
whatever.
like a third of the price.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we use the free stuff just for the audio part, but that's easy because all those are actually still pretty good. Even
Yeah,
the
those are
audio
fine.
part editing works perfectly fine. We don't need 8 channels and everybody on their own individual microphone. Everybody on their own individual channel. It's not really necessary for
You
this.
don't need a monitor mix. You're good.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe we get Evan Williams to sponsor us.
Oh, there you go.
I can talk to some people.
Yeah. Give me a sound engineer.
At least get free bourbon out of it. I can tell you that much.
There you go.
Now you're talking dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
I know.
that's super dirty. I like it.
Ooh, boy.
I like bourbon.
How much do you like it?
Almost as much as this beer, actually.
Boom.
We will get
Cheers.
in some bourbon later then.
Oh, yeah.
Again, and you are sponsored, Ike, by
Yeah, by Evan. I
Williams
got
and-
spotted by Evan Williams Fire. Evan
Nice.
Williams.
Is he allowed to say that?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
No,
Why not?
Yeah, they don't know.
We did a podcast a long time ago at Stacked Pickle.
Yeah.
Down in-
And it was
Yeah.
it was with some vodka supplier, and they literally couldn't mention the whole name of
Yeah.
the vodka we were trying.
Oh no, they're actually
Isn't that like
the
free
company.
advertising?
That's what I said.
Well, they were a bigger, actually, like a bigger. I think it was.
Can't
It
say it.
starts with a 3.
Three, yeah. I know exactly what you're
3
talking
little green things.
about.
But
Mashed potatoes?
yeah, they at the last minute they're like, yeah, we
You
can't.
guys
Brussels
take-
sprouts. I mean,
Grapes?
That was right. I think that was it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us.
Yep.
They couldn't say it, but
Yeah.
we had their reps there with us on the show, making
Making
drinks
us
with
drinks, and we couldn't
Oh,
say
yeah.
what it was. We're like, why are you here? Why did you? What the fuck? Why did you come on the show? They're making us great cocktails. Hey, this is great
it. Yeah.
stuff.
I have a feeling they
Thanks.
listened to a couple of our episodes and said, nope.
No, thank you.
Nope.
I've done gigs for sponsored by like beer companies, and when we're on stage, we have to drink Miller Lite. I'm like, I can't stand Miller Lite. Dude. That's it's horrible. But you can't. Everything else on stage is like
know what you need-
we're paying for you guys to play here. I'm like,
Dump it out and
Get
pour
them.
so I literally sit on stage and I got bourbon on
Yeah.
the side. I'm like,
Just get a Miller
Hey,
Lite
cheers.
koozie and put any other kind of
Exactly.
beer in it, or get one of those. They have those. I know they make them for Coke. They have a Coke label.
Yeah.
But you just drop a can and it still
Yeah.
looks like a can. It's just
Yeah.
basically a can sleeve. They just need
That'd
to
have
flip
been
it around.
Yep.
should have invested in all that stuff. But yeah,
No, I don't like drinking your beer, but here I'll show it. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's just awesome. Spectacular.
do you guys water this down or what is it?
Oops, sorry. Oh, did I?
pour more beer. That's a good sign that the
All
beer's
right.
going down.
That's a
smooth,
good
isn't
sign.
it?
I like the
This
clink.
is definitely crushable.
Yeah,
beer.
I'll finish this one real quick here.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's very clean and it's
Yeah, it's
good for
delicious.
it's summer's coming. Well, spring's coming up. Spring's ish here right now. It's spring-ish.
That's a good fishing beer, I can tell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Then like the bitterness is not for a double dry hop.
Yep.
The floral's good, but with the hops you used in the boil, very easy. IBUs are low enough or not
Very
not
low.
extreme enough for anything that's
Yep.
going to make it that bitter piney taste at the end where you've
Yeah.
got to switch. You
Like
get one down and
resinous.
you got to switch to clear your palate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't really need a palate cleanser at this one because it finishes and goes away after a short time.
Exactly.
No lingering effects.
There's not that bitter aftertaste that I get with a lot of
It
hoppier
lingers
beers.
forever.
Like I was telling you earlier, I feel like when I'm drinking the hoppier beers, I feel like I'm chewing my beer, and I'm like,
yeah.
I don't like
oh,
that.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
I mean- They're
not
For me, it's
balanced,
always
man.
it's almost like a sour face. You kind
Yeah.
of do the.
Yeah.
You can't see it because I know I'm
Yeah.
talking to a mic right now, but you're like squinting.
You got it, man. It's a good visual for me.
We need a video.
Do you guys think that you would like more dry hop? Because we were thinking about adding like a little bit more.
This
I think it's perfect.
Okay.
No, I
for
think
my
it's
Yeah.
great.
taste, I
Ideal
think
beer.
for my taste, I am perfect.
For real. This is great.
The aroma's nice and citrusy and juice. The aroma's juicy, even in that NEPA style, as far as that
Yep.
that big
That's definitely
floral
what-
aroma.
Yep.
It's
But-
got good legs too, right? Is that what they
Yeah.
call that? Legs?
Lacing.
It's a
Yep.
wine thing or whatever, right?
Lacing.
Lacings.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the lacing.
No, I think it's
lacing
delicious
hangs.
the way it is. I mean,
Legs, lacing,
triple
same
hop one,
thing.
but
I keep shaking my head, thinking that people are hearing me go, yes, yes, I agree. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, we're not on. We're not on
video
it's not YouTube,
people.
man.
We're video people.
We're more visual.
We
than
should do.
audio.
We'll put up a couple pictures with the podcast of him just going.
on a loop, just bobbing his head.
we'll get a Jerry and bobblehead.
This does load up to YouTube, but it's strictly an audio YouTube. So yeah, I think I can put a picture on it. If
The
Darren
whole
just goes-
time.
Yeah.
You could make you could make a boomerang and just put it on loop.
Yeah. I subscribe to that channel any day, trust me.
Look at this. This is
I would
great.
just put it on with the audio off.
Oh yeah.
He'll put a monitor up behind him while he's playing guitar. Perfect. Jerry going.
Done. Just make sure the Wolfoose logo is on there so everybody sees it.
Yeah, perfect.
Night at the Roxbury by Jaron.
Exactly. What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's good.
Oh wait, that's a copyright thing, right? We got to be careful of that.
Only 3. Nope.
Yeah,
3 seconds.
yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, we're
Less than
good.
3 seconds.
They know.
Is that what it is? Is that the rule?
Yeah.
Huh,
Yeah.
Good to know.
Like late night guys, I started seeing that in a one of the late night guys was playing like the cut up from Miami, CSI Miami,
Yeah.
where it goes, yeah, and he's like, as long as it's under 3 seconds, I'm good. Because they
Bubba
cut it
O'Reilly,
off
yeah.
right away, and he's like, 3 seconds, we don't got to pay you nothing.
Well, and if it hits 4, you gotta like pay him out. That's
I guess,
nuts,
yeah,
man.
that's I think even, but that's the YouTube algorithm. I think too. The YouTube algorithm catches some of that. If it's over, like, it might be 5 seconds or somewhere in there, but it's as long as you keep it super short.
Oh my gosh.
Their algorithm says, okay, that's fine. You're not using the whole thing.
I had my wife just singing a song a cappella, and Instagram made me take it down.
Yeah. I did.
I mean, she did a really good job. You should praise her for the singing.
Yeah,
I
she
guess
is a pretty good singer.
I did a
Shout out to
recording
Lauren
of
Stram.
a Prince song a long time ago. I did like a couple Prince songs I did for YouTube, and like I did a bunch of other songs from other cover artists. But the only one they took down was Prince. I'm like, did Prince actually see this maybe or something? Like, why would they just take down the Prince song? I don't know why it happened, but they took all the Prince songs down. I'm like, well,
Shit. That's weird.
maybe he likes my stuff.
Yeah.
Not now, but
Well,
oh, I'm sorry, that's too soon for that.
No.
I'm sorry.
yeah, it's fine. He's still alive. He's,
Yeah,
he's
in
hanging
Mc-
out with Elvis and
in McDonald's in
everybody
Michigan.
else.
Yeah,
Tupac, Elvis, yeah,
Hoffa.
Prince.
an Italian
Yeah.
monastery somewhere.
Making a banger somewhere.
So Jessica, one of the reasons we're here as
Sorry.
podcasters,
We're gonna pivot.
Yeah, she's got an awesome thing going on here in Rochester, and this all kind of came together from doing podcasts. And I think what you're doing is gonna be fucking awesome.
Thank you.
Ooh.
So let's
I agree.
hear about that. 'cause
Language. No, just kidding.
Edit.
No.
This is our show.
I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear you said after that. That's all. I was like, thank you.
I messed up the
Yeah.
setup, didn't I?
The edible
Thanks,
just kicked
guys.
in.
Yeah. I'll just take it. I'll take it all in, guys. Take it all.
Jaron's sitting there going,
Yeah.
Bobbing his head.
Pass the
so-
gummies.
no, you're
okay,
doing
so-
you're doing a great thing. Yeah,
Okay.
let's hear what you've got coming up.
Yeah, so opening soon, have an art gallery called the Native Nook. And it's going to be in the previous record farm location where I spent a whole year of my life working, selling records, and that's how I
That's
met
right,
Brendan,
yep.
and that's how, this is great. And, yeah, so a lot of the people that are featured are people from the magazine, from Digital Wolf magazine, and I kind of just knew that they were looking for a place to put their stuff. I knew a lot of artists that are continuing to get commissions or have things to sell online, and I had the idea of just an little art store, bookstore, and a little nook, and it just never happened. And I just like to keep my ideas, in the back of my mind. And then the record firm decided to leave, and I was like, I'm just gonna ask and see if it's available, and it was. And they that's exactly what we'd like to have in there. So, yeah, so it'll be memberships and. Artists from all over the country.
Oh,
So yeah, so it'll be more local, but we'll have people from North Carolina and Michigan,
sweet.
and there's a girl that's from Indianapolis. She moved to Portland, and now she's in Germany. So she has some stuff here that I'd like to put in there as well.
And there's a lot of local artists in this. I mean, there really is in this area a lot. I mean,
There are a lot, and I've realized that doing the magazine and the podcast, being able to meet people and interview them and tell
Yeah.
their stories, and there's a lot of people just don't want to advertise themselves, so that's why they're not really getting their name out there, or maybe they don't know how.
Right.
It's kind of on both sides of the fence, but yeah, there's a lot of creative people around here, and I've started to see a community of artists and creators starting to work together and bring more especially even it's a small town. So I
Yeah.
mean, there's plenty of opportunity to put art all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a lot more artists in any town than I think people realize. It's a matter of having a space. Now, internet has allowed people to put stuff out there, like our podcast, and do our art and all that. But in some cases, or at least in my mind, there's some pieces of art and some things that actually need to be seen in the real world. You can take a picture of it and put it online, but not the same, right? And that's kind of what you're trying to get those people that want that real interface of art around here. And give them a place to expose. I was going to say expose themselves, but
it's not that kind of place, man.
What kind of place is this again?
Nude art gallery.
That's why I stopped at expose, and then I was going to finish. And then I said the quiet part out loud, and but no, it's great. Yeah, I think having that space of allowing people to get their art out, because you might, like my auntie used to just make little pictures and do all kinds of stuff, and she did great stuff, but there wasn't anybody to put it out there for other people to see at the time. So it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of different mediums. There's gonna be like clay, and you got the painting and the drawings and stuff like that. But it's just kind of out there too. I'm not gonna do put anything in there that's already in town. Or if there is, it's completely different. So I will be collaborating with the local businesses so that we're not competing against each other. So that there's multiple places for people to go to look at art or to buy art.
Right.
And I mean, there's already art displayed all over the place in different business, like Uncorked, and we have actually a house of decor where I work, and
Or just look up at Putts. And
yeah,
see
there's some art.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what it's missing. You know what's
Oh,
still up
you
in that
guys need a
ceiling.
Blind Pigs
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Pretty sure that's been about a year now.
Yeah. There'd have been too much alcohol involved in that, but she did say there was going to be a blind pig up there.
I mean, there's not been a lot to do for the last 9 months. Locked at home. Wink, wink.
I feel like that was one thing that was always missing in Rochester was cultural art. I don't feel like that was ever a big thing. I mean, it was always about sports. Go to the football games. Go to the basketball games.
Right.
It was never. They never told you to express yourself. It was more
Expose
I think you
yourself.
see it a lot. Yeah, small communities like that, especially like sports and yeah.
That's just, I think at the time too, is how you supported your community.
Your town.
That was the focus, and now that's not the focus anymore. And when we grew up, this town was always called a retirement town, and I mean, I didn't want to live here for a long time until I started getting involved and started meeting other people that cared about making it not a retirement home. And there's a lake, there's a river, there's awesome restaurants. There's actually some really cool things here, and you can really thrive in a small town when you guys all work together.
Well, I think that small town mentality has expanded also, with just global communications, anything like that. That small, it's not so, you're not the weird person because you do art or something. It's well more accepted now, even in the small towns, to be different and, have blue hair and, it's
Drive a
before,
blue van.
exactly, right. But, tiny small town like that, 20 years ago, you'd have been, everybody would been looking at you going, who's that weird person? But it's so much generally more accepted, in my opinion. I don't know how everybody else feels, but
I think it's well said.
I agree.
I think it's really well said.
yeah. So
I went to an art show in Indianapolis, and I was just stunned that this was even a thing. I didn't even know it was a thing. And you go in, and it's all it is. Just artists putting up their art and trying to make a living. And I was so surprised.
We were outside. We've never really been in that circle, and then once you get exposed to it, it's
Yeah, it's awesome.
I always
eye-opening.
loved when our high school would do their little art gallery, just the students.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I agree.
that was just your classmates. That wasn't them trying to make a living off of it.
Yeah, and it rounds out the whole community. Art and technology and and then still the standard small town values, and everybody knows each other. I'm pretty sure Jessica knows about everybody in this bar. Hell, we were sitting here for an hour, and we just got a guy coming up to us, showing us not pictures of 1930s bicycles and pointing out the Tommy gun bullet holes in the wall right here next to it. It's sweet. That's very homey and small town, but still with that expansive knowledge of art and everything else. It's been I think a great thing over the last probably couple decades as people's minds have expanded to accept other things that are not
Finally.
just. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You're right. Small towns need stuff like that.
they do.
Completely.
Yeah.
But I do think things like Jessica, what you're doing, and with the internet, I think we see more now than we ever saw before, obviously. But you wonder how many people. I always wonder about that, but about artists that you'll never hear of and never hear. Musicians who are incredible. They're sitting there on their porch. And I never go off that porch, and the people don't hear me. The music that we miss, it's kind of like that's kind of sad that we'll never.
You miss more music than you catch.
And our people that sitting at home drawing or painting, and they die and they find the stuff years after. It's like, holy shit, this guy wasn't.
Yeah.
Or you don't know. It's just
what
are we missing?
I know
what's out
spaces like that that are opening up. Like Black Circle has that whole kind of space down there in Sobro with all the art stuff, and then they have all the. And they got the drag bingo on the weekends, and and yet they do heavy metal on the night before, thrash metal and
they
stuff.
They were doing that flea market for a while. They're still doing that.
Right, but they got that whole little space there, and you're building something kind of similar like that, where you got that space of artists that just kind of come together. It's awesome.
What I'm looking forward to is like once the theater gets going, like I'll be able to have the space open when the theater has shows. So it's not it'll be open extended hours. So it's like it's making it or not making it, but helping keeping it like not like everybody going to bed at 5 o'clock, or being done at 5. Like a lot of the restaurants close really. Yeah, I mean.
Yes.
Whatever you prefer. But being called a retirement town, everybody just kind of like shuts down early, so it's just like a way to like just one other thing to stay open just a little bit longer than what.
And the kids here like to stay out late, and that might expose them to something new that inspires them on the next generation or anything like that. Will there well, I guess it's probably early. Will there be beer?
That was actually how this whole thing started. So hopefully.
A couple guys.
We're planning on doing some tastings there.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll probably advertise a little more so we get people in and they can come and taste our beer.
Yeah, we'll
check
have
out
an
the
open house.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm just waiting for the construction to be done because there's brand new windows and all of that. So once that's official and done, I can set a date.
Is it overwhelming on that?
Not at all.
No,
not at all. No.
Buying a building.
I'm not buying it. I'm just renting.
Well, you know what I mean. Sorry, but building a business for me, that's just I'm like, I don't know where to start. Screw that.
Well, this is kind of my second business, and then I have, I work full time, so it's kind of something I'm doing on the side, and it's just everything's flowed really nicely.
You do like 12 things on the side.
I dropped out of a lot of things.
Did you?
Okay, I have because this is my main focus, and I
She's
really
down to
enjoy
10.
this. Yeah, only 10.
You're multitasking like crazy, man.
I love it. I love having a full schedule. I like staying busy and having things to do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
You're good at it, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You want to take a quick break? We'll maybe
Is there
another beer for us, and then we'll talk with Ike and see how things going for him, and get some road stories maybe from Ike.
How much time do you have?
Oh yeah,
just pick one or two.
Edit
man.
some of these out.
No, we don't. Nope.
No problem.
We'll see how it goes.
Exactly.
All right.
Pick
Cheers.
the two worst.
Yeah.
This is Jessica from Digital Wolf, and you're listening to Blind Pig's Confessions.
Hi, this is Kelley from 18th Street Brewery, and you are listening to Blind Pig Confessions.
This is Robert Ralph Feddersen, and you're listening to Blind Pig Confessions. The bear eats the dude.
Goes to 11.
That was a weird way to break back in.
Movie, man.
That's a weird way to break back in.
It's amazing. I don't know if they show it on
What?
Spinal Tap.
Spinal Tap.
Oh, okay.
I know for years, like there's the movies like Spinal Tap and like
Waiting for Guffman and Best in Show. And
well, those are always on, but like Spinal
same
Tap
guys.
wasn't on, and you couldn't get it anywhere
Right.
for a long
Best in
time
Show is one of my
unless they
favorite
they were showing it.
A Mighty
somewhere.
Wind is a good one too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Best in Show is awesome.
Yeah.
But Spinal Tap's just
No, I have two
amazing.
left feet. I literally have two left feet.
I love Eugene Levy, man.
She comes out with a broken leg.
Those are great movies, man.
Anyway, beer's working.
Yeah.
Yep, apparently. You think? Just
It's
a
that
little
6 to 7%. Like I was talking to you guys off this.
Yep. Yeah, we need to talk about
bit.
that
It
too.
might be the other beers and the whiskey in between, but whatever.
Yeah. But this is different. This is I do get that weird, not weird, sorry, but the cinnamon. I don't smell it in the beer, but I do get, you can taste it a little bit, just real light.
Yeah, a real little bit. So this was kind of more of an experimental one. We kind of wanted to go, make a good New England style kind of IPA, and then was like, well, if we're gonna make an amber, if we're gonna make beer, let's make it how we want to make it, right? It's our beer. So instead of just doing a straight up just amber that could be, just middle of the road, it's like, well, let's just add some stuff to it when it's fermenting. And this was our second rendition of it, so I added a little more cinnamon, a little more orange peel this time. And this is what it's like. So it's still in the works, but honestly, it's pretty good.
It's very smooth.
I mean, this is my third try of it, so it's still pretty new to me. Because this has been aging in the bottle for a couple of weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's usually better and you let it age in the bottle for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I tried one after 3 days, and which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to at least wait 2 weeks, and it was not good. So I did work a little of that magic, where I was giving it that the Jedi power.
Before, were you trying to force carbonate it?
Yep. I stared at it every day for about 5 minutes, just.
I still can't remember.
You will be carbonated.
I still can't remember if we talked about that on the mic or was that before the show started. Did we talk about the porter thing before the show started, or was that on the mic?
Yeah, it was before the show started.
Yeah. Well, we might circle around to that because people will be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" we'll talk about their because I do once we're going to get to Ike, and then I want to circle back. We still got to get Monica on from Putt.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, we go long. We go long. We split shows. You get a 2-for-1.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get back to that. But I'm liking the beer. I am tasting the. I'm getting the. I guess it's cinnamon always leaves a dry.
Yeah.
A powdery flavor, and it's not that I'm not saying that in a bad way, but it's
if
definitely
if
the
it
cinnamon.
is a bad way, please.
No.
tell us.
But the cinnamon is there, and it's getting. I'm getting that same kind of that. Almost a powdery dryness, but I don't know if it's because of the alcohol and the hops or the grain bill involved, but I definitely get the cinnamon, but I'm feeling that powderiness.
Yeah, I will say I'm getting that too, and I think it's been happening more with aging, which I think is kind of interesting to see because after about 2 weeks I had it and it was really good. There was really none of that, but I was just noticing that as well. But that's another cool thing that happens with on why I like bottling too, right? Because it does change over time.
Right.
Whereas if you keg it, it's kind of getting, you're not really stuck, but it's kind of just where it is.
Yeah.
So that's what's interesting about bottles is, you can drink one now and then maybe have one in 6 months and it could be a completely different tasting beer just from it aging.
Or it could explode like ours
Or
did.
it could explode.
50-50.
It becomes a weapon. It becomes a weapon. But no, it's reminds me kind of like a holiday amber.
Yeah.
This kind of the gingerbread.
It's kind of like
a Christmas
lighter
ale,
Christmas ale, but
Christmas amber.
I feel like we might need a little more orange because I don't really get the orange.
Yeah, I didn't do much. I added a little too much cinnamon, and then after I put it in there, I was kind of like, oops.
Were you running orange? Did you add more orange peel?
It was peel.
Okay, so you were running the zest, not just a little bit more, not the actual orange.
We're not putting no juice.
No, you don't want to do
no
orange juice.
And that may be what's combining the two with the powdery kind of ish of the cinnamon, and then the extra zest part, which is always going to be a little more bitter than obviously the actual fruit.
Right.
Yeah.
Just compounding a little bit, but again. Not in a bad way. I'm trying to. I know I'm not in a bad way. Those are the characteristics of this beer.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, there's some. You get even porters where you get that real dark chocolate. It gets almost powdery and chalky. You can dry. I mean, it's dry.
Way too much
it's
cocoa.
Not
it's too much cocoa. It's cocoa.
No, I mean, I don't mind it at all. I don't mind it.
I can definitely pick up on the orange though, because I drink a lot of cinnamon bourbon, So cinnamon sometimes I don't really catch it when it comes to beers, but I can definitely taste the citrus side of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, even orange. I think more orange peel would be even better, honestly. But I mean.
I agree.
And I like that about it. It's nice and smooth, and it is not too overbearing.
Yeah, 100%.
It definitely goes down very easily.
Oh yeah.
What time is it?
Doesn't matter.
No.
It doesn't matter.
Ike's gonna need a nap before he plays.
Yeah, and that's all great. I mean, and that's kind of what's also great about me, talking with you guys about this, because when it's just us two, we kind of get limited on getting other feedback. So hearing from other people is huge.
We're also a little biased, right?
And a little biased.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's like anything. When you make it yourself, it always tastes better because you made it.
And then it's just the two of you arguing on who did it wrong.
Yeah.
It's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault.
Oh, 100%. It's always Jaren's fault, though. We all know that.
Yeah.
You can't see it, but he's bobbing his head. I promise.
Yeah, I know. So that will be your next marketing thing, is a little Jaren bobblehead doll.
Yep. We're gonna change all of our logos to use his face,
or a wolf or a Wolfoose bobblehead. You need a little Wolfoose bobblehead.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah. All right. So while we're drinking this, because we heard from Mike on talking about the beer.
Yeah.
Ike, give us some stories, man. You've been on the road for decades, something like that. It seems like
it's crazy. This
you're playing tonight.
Tonight here at Putt's 8 o'clock, about 8 ish.
Well, by the time people hear this, you'll have already been played.
Yeah.
But you're regular around town. I think you play at Kips down in Indy a lot.
Joe's.
Joe's. The Fisher's Joe's.
Yeah, the Free Spirit on right there. And every Sunday I've been doing that.
Then I've probably seen you at one point there.
But yeah, I've been pretty lucky. This spring will be my 30th year getting paid to play music. Wow. So, but even when I was an engineer, I went to Purdue and graduated with an engineering degree. Did the engineering thing for 10 years. I was still playing 4 nights a week.
Wow.
And I was doing an engineering job for 60 hours a week. And after like 10 years, I'm like, well, this has got to go, man. So it was an easy decision. So about 15 years ago, on Cinco de Mayo, I actually quit my job and went out and just booked myself silly. So ever since then, I've been doing anywhere from 250 to 320 shows a year.
Holy shit!
So but it keeps me. Yeah, it's
damn.
Well, that's why my voice sounds like Wolfman Jack right now because I've been doing a lot of shows. I've been picking up, thankfully, from the pandemic because I lost a lot of gigs last year.
Yeah.
But it's been an awesome ride, man. I've been very lucky to be able to like open up for like Canned Heat and like
holy shit.
Boyd Tinsley from Dave Matthews. I did a show with Tim Reynolds and like a lot of these cool guys. I've done a lot of cool gigs. I've been blessed with knowing people in the industry that throw me these gigs because sometimes they just want an acoustic guy that can sound like 3 guys or 4 guys.
Sure.
And we're not going to charge what 4 guys are going to charge. So I get a lot of gigs like the Vogue down in Broader, but I do a lot of gigs down there because sometimes he just wants an acoustic opener.
Right.
So and I went up like for Dave Mason last year from the band Traffic.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah.
So I got to do a show with him last year.
Sweet.
And just same kind of thing, man. They just wanted somebody that could go in and do 45 minutes, and they're going to charge us out the ass to come play it and still put on a good show. So I've been kind of lucky in that respect. And then throughout the years, I used to go to Jamaica. I've been in Jamaica about 22 times. And I used to go down there for about 15 years. I would go down there, and I would do like 5 or 6 gigs down there, like on the beach, up in the jungle. And I'd put a box out, and people put money in it all week, tipping me. And I would take all that money and take it to it's a pre-kindergarten school up in the mountains. And I would just, every year, I just take them a bunch of money every end of the week. And they would take that and they would build onto their school. These all pre-kindergarten. They're all little tiny Jamaican kids. They're like 4 years old. They're little tiny.
Yeah.
So I would take them like sometimes $100, sometimes $500. But down there, that goes a long way.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to see a lot of cool things. Like I got to see these kids grow up. I got to see them build a library, a computer lab. And like I go there every year. My girlfriend came in one time and started bawling her eyes out because these little kids are like high-fiving me. And the superheroes hugging me like, hey, we made this library because of the money you gave us last year. And my girl was like, oh my God, I can't believe you do this. And like, and people are like, you play in Jamaica, you must make a lot of money. I go, I don't make any money in Jamaica. I lose money, but that ain't why I go down there, Yeah. So I've been lucky to be able to be a part of all my stuff for a while. So that's why I love playing music anyway. So I mean, I like getting paid for it, but that's just the icing on the cake, honestly.
I heard that makes sense now because I heard the most common name in Jamaica now is Ike. Newborns, so
well, there was a hurricane down there called Ike a long time ago too. So.
I think second is Mary.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and I see what you've done there. I mean, like I said, you dump the engineering and the working week and all that, and for this that you're paying your bills.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with just paying your bills and being happy in what you're doing. You don't. We all want to achieve great. Everybody's got their own level or own idea of what their greatness to achieve is, and you're entertaining people. You're helping. Exactly. So your stress level's different. You're meeting all kinds of people.
I'm a big boy. When I quit my engineering job, I was bigger than I am now. Oh wow. Because I was sitting behind a desk all day, drinking Cokes and eating Wendy's lunch every freaking day. Right. And not doing anything. So at least I'm starting to get got active again. So the pandemic unfortunately put a bunch of weight on me because Instacart and DoorDash are kicking my ass.
Right.
So, but I mean, it's been worth it. I mean, the whole ride's been worth it to me.
Fucking Jimmy John's and their super fast delivery.
Freaky fast bastards. Damn Jimmy John's. I've been lucky. I've been lucky to do some weekly gigs down in Indianapolis. So, and these guys have a lot of faith in me because like I said, I got sponsored by Evan Williams. I was with Jägermeister for 10 years and Cold Cock Whiskey for a year. And I got hooked up with Evan Williams, and I always tell people, man, as long as the bar makes money when you're playing, you will always get asked back. Yeah. I don't care how bad you are or how good you are. Yeah. If the bar makes money and they have a good time, you always get asked. So my whole shtick is selling booze.
That's why nobody brings us back.
Yeah. I seriously doubt that. But it's always nice, especially get to come hang out with you guys and meet these guys with this amazing beer, by the way.
Yeah, good first runs, man. They're very good.
Thank you, guys.
Our first one was that our stout? What was our first stout? Was our first beer we did, right?
What? The stout?
Our first, for the pigs.
Yeah.
A little more.
Yeah, we did. Our first beer was a stout.
Yeah.
It was all right.
I feel like those are very hard style. It's a very hard style to get right. And I think it's because the acidity.
We didn't get
people
it
don't
right. It
think
was
about-
drinkable.
Yeah.
We didn't get it right.
It was
Our
drinkable.
first one had like a soy saucy flavor. We did an extract of it, and it almost our
It
new
was
one.
delightful.
Were you eating Panda Express while you were drinking?
Oh, poured it right over the top
Orange
of the rice.
chicken, baby.
Oh.
Fried rice. Pork fried rice.
Well, it's crazy when Jessica asked me to do this. I was like, I actually have never done a podcast before. I've done a lot of radio stuff, but I've never done a podcast. And I was like, so what's all about? She goes, well, we're going to bring these guys in from this brewery, and we're going to talk about beer. I'm like, oh, that's freaking fantastic. They're really like, at a bar. I'm like, oh, I'm in. I mean, why wouldn't I want to do that?
And you'll get to play there.
yeah. I get to make money later.
Bring a cot, take a nap, and then play later.
And then you can move in.
Yeah. There's been many times I'm glad someone took me home from here, trust me, many times.
You got another.
By the way, what are you doing later tonight? Can someone drive me home later?
Well,
I will not legally.
Depending on how the night goes, yeah, we might be able to drive you back down to Indy. But
Hold your hand as we walk down the street together.
Done.
Expensive Uber from Indy.
Yeah, very.
you know.
Luckily, I
Depends
got
on if the guy's got to get home or not.
I got a lot of friends in town, so I was like, he can crash on my couch, whatever. Best thing, because I stayed at the Rochester Motel one time, and my friend's like, don't ever stay there again, man. I'm like,
I'm surprised you came back to Rochester.
Yeah, that's what they said, too. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't mention that. Hope they're not
You
listening.
can sleep in my van.
Perfect. I've done that. Not your
How
van.
generous are you, Jess?
Are you going to be there?
Sure.
All right, I'll see you later on, baby.
Now it's getting dirty again.
More beer.
It just brings it out, you know.
Yeah.
So, but again, very good. I mean, I want to get back just a little bit, and then I'm going to get another story from Mike because I feel like he's got another one. He's just scared to say it. He's got a few other fun stories, but so good, very good first couple out. I'm very impressed. Like so, ours we kind of we tried for a while, and then we kind of quit. Jordan, one of the other, we've got actually five. There's actually like five of us, but it's a rotating cast.
Yep.
It's Dougie Fresh and I tend to do the most of them, but. Ours, we did the stout, and then we did ale, didn't we?
Stout,
we did IPA,
ale,
and
yeah.
And then we circled back to our stout, and that was
not
when
a good idea.
I think things were getting dirty and things were getting clean because we had bought some of those plastic conical fermenters, and because they were selling them all over the place, and it sounded like a good idea at the time, and nobody said anything bad about them, but holy crap, no. Yeah, we ended up throwing those away.
I'm sure if you had a good cleaning process, probably would alright.
But we had brewed like our second round of stout and put it in, and we had Dan Gore, formerly of Redemption, before they closed down, and he comes over to try it out, and he's like, "Were you guys trying to brew a black IPA?" And we're like, "No, is that a thing?" Apparently, it
we
did
made a new
become
style
a
of
thing.
beer, yeah.
Is it good if it is?
But there is a black IPA now. I don't know that there
they're-
was before, or if
they're
it was.
awful.
I've never really had a good one.
I don't
Never had a
like
good
them.
one.
I don't like them at all.
Yeah, but he was asking us, so we were like, no, and then we just kind of had to pour all those out and just kind of go.
Well,
I think that was
we
our
made
last
a really
one.
nice saison.
That's what it was. It was a
we
saison
made a
was our
really-
first.
We made first good beer.
Yeah,
that was
that was
the
our
first
first
beer
good
we
beer.
did.
Sorry,
Well, it was a really good
Yeah.
beer actually. Orange saison. It was really blood orange saison.
Oh yeah.
That sounds
And
great.
it came out really nice.
That was a big hit this summer. It was blood orange. A lot of people were doing a blood orange beers.
Yes, a lot of people were doing
And
that.
there was a good reason why, because they were all very good.
Yeah.
There was very
Not
blood
all.
orange.
Not all of them. No.
I agree with you there. Some of them are just.
There were a lot of people doing them.
like this.
I agree.
I agree with half of that statement.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of got over that blood orange kind of thing. It just wasn't. It was all right. It was kitsch for a minute, but I don't really look for them anymore.
Well, it's kind of like it's got its place, right? And you got to, if you're gonna do it, like you can't go overboard with it. 'Cause if you go overboard with it, I mean, you can have a little bit, but it kind of becomes a novelty, right?
Yeah.
Where it's not really that enjoyable. Like you taste it and it's kind of like, oh, it's there, and then you want something else.
Right.
You know? It's
yeah,
like,
it's not a crushable long term.
Yeah.
It's that's neat.
Yeah, exactly.
This is definitely a beer I would order another of. I mean, honestly.
I wish we brought more.
They're very clean.
We're good. I'm just saying, like, if I were in a bar and I drank this, I would definitely get another.
That is probably one of the nicest things anyone's ever said to me.
This will definitely do well. I think in your Christmas, like I said, in that Christmas time, fall.
Oh, yeah.
A lot more of a fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fall beer as far as when sales would go up on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just so the listeners know, I'm doing the bobblehead.
We all are.
Yeah.
No, I think that's be really good.
Well, in the first time we made it, it was I think it was October, so it was like the perfect time to do it. But of course, the second time we did it was like December or January. But it's got to sit for a while, so now it's getting warm, and it's like I don't really want to drink cinnamon anymore because it's going to be 60 degrees outside. But it does have its place, right? Especially like late nights if you've been drinking other stuff, like have one of them.
Sure.
But once it gets to fall and Christmas again, I think that's going to be.
It becomes an easy, and there's always been seasonal beers.
100%.
IPA is kind of good. Most low IBU for IPAs for me are good kind of anytime. A NEPA is really good any time of the year. Porters and stouts feel better in the winter time. I don't know why.
I mean, I like
but
a
I'll
porter
still
stout all
crush.
summer
I'll
long,
still
just
crush
not
a-
while I'm sitting in the sun or on
No.
a boat. I'm going to
Yeah,
drink something else.
It's like, I might as well just have
in the
a-
air conditioning inside. I'm
Yeah.
going to drink a porter.
That KBS right after you just drink a
Yeah.
Bud Light is actually pretty good in the summer.
Might as well just sit there with a stout in one hand and a pint of milk in the other, and go, milk was a bad idea.
Milk was a bad choice. Yeah, that's kind of what's nice too is something we want to focus on, especially with, like this amber's a good example of it. So we made it and we added the orange peel and cinnamon. So those were the adjuncts we added, but the actual base of it I think can be applied to some other kind of adjuncts. Maybe make it more summery, maybe make it a little more springy. I mean, that's something we want to put out and get like input from people and to get them involved with our brewing process of like, hey, what should we try to make this with? So get our base recipes down and then get ideas from people, brew those beers, and then see how they turn out.
So I think we were talking off mic on. So there's a brewery called Mobcraft that does that. They crowdsource a recipe every
month,
every month. And they literally crowd. It's just ideas. Again, the person doesn't like come and make the beer.
100%.
But it's all the ideas and stuff. And
We've had a couple grain companies reach out to us and say, hey, like we'll supply some of your grains if you guys want to brew a beer, and we can maybe brew it together too.
Yeah, heck
so
wow, that's great.
We're even thinking about doing something like that.
Where are you getting your where are you getting some of your supplies from?
Great fermentations all right now. Love that place.
Oh, yeah.
Great place. It's also, I mean, we probably never would have got into really all grain brewing if we didn't have that homebrew store, just right down the road.
Yeah,
Because I am one of the most forgetful people there is.
He just
And
forgot.
so
He just forgot what he was saying.
Yeah. Oh, where am I at? And so it's like if you forget something, it's nice to be able to drive and get it instead of, hey, you got to wait another 2 days for Amazon to deliver it.
Yeah.
So if that didn't exist, there's been so many times where we've had to just last minute go back and get. Hell, I forgot to buy yeast one time.
Yeah. But you
Like
can go
the
in there
one
and
thing
you can go in there
you
and smell
need.
everything. You can go through that. I mean, it's just
Those guys
amazing
are
to go in
really
there.
knowledgeable too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
I put an order in a call, and I told them a certain yeast, and they're like, well, you can get this other yeast which is the exact same, and it's made by a guy that used to work for that company. So and it's cheaper, so get this one.
He
And I'm
makes
like,
it. He makes it in his basement.
yeah.
In a bathtub.
We get it from the tub in the back.
It's called Joe's yeast. All right.
Thanks for the visual, man.
What are you brewing with, Joe's yeast? Sweet.
I know Joe.
Beer tastes a little sour.
A little garlicky for my taste.
Was this for
peanut?
beer
What is
or
that?
bread? I'm not really sure what we're doing here. It's not why does it say Fleischmann's on that packet? All right, I'm gonna pivot. You wanna? Let's pivot back to that. Come on, give us another story. Give us one. You got
You gave us a
On the
a
spot.
heartwarming story about Jamaica and the kids. So give us something bad, dirty.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Give us a bad, or just a
Something
bad
maybe your
horror.
girlfriend won't like.
Everything went wrong.
That's happened quite a bit, actually. I mean, there's been a lot of times where
It's happening now, right now.
I mean, I'm gonna give it her night. All my
yeah.
shit's not gonna work probably. And I'm gonna be drunk, going, I can't fucking figure
It's
this
all right.
out.
I got a
man.
board.
Sorry. Yeah,
I
perfect.
got a board here. We'll just plug it in.
There's been, there's been so many. Like I do so many shows, and my shows, honestly, they're very heavily liquor and booze based. And there's a reason for that. It's because I sells booze, and that's what the bar makes money for.
It's the best kind of music.
And the thing is, like, I'm one of those guys that I'm able to put down. I'm not necessarily proud of this fact, but I can put down a lot of booze and still play. And it's when people start throwing me different types of booze. It's when I have to really stop them. Like when they get to the harder liquors and like start throwing Rumble Mints and stuff and 151 at me, I'm like, oh man, you just want to see me fall off the damn stage. Yeah. So I mean, luckily, getting older, I've learned to get away from that shit, because there's been times where I
Peer pressure. You can resist the peer pressure now.
Well, kind of, but I've learned to like gauge my shots a little bit quicker. Because there's been times where back when I was in my 20s, I would literally get done playing and I'd fall off the damn stage. and puke in a trash can as I'm walking off stage. I'm like, I'm fine, trust me, everything's good. We're done playing, so it's good. But like, I mean, literally one of the worst stories I was at a gig. It was actually a couple years ago. I do a lot of gigs. I do doubles. I do 2 on a Friday or 2 on a Saturday. So my first gig, I didn't eat. Well, my first gig, I did a whole bunch of shots. Went to my second gig, and I started doing shots again. And about my set break, my buddy shows up, and he has some other stuff to go outside and smoke. But it's really, really strong. So we're doing dabs in the parking lot.
Gotcha.
So I go back in and start playing. Well, luckily, by that time, everything's hitting me and the room is spinning. And I've never, in my entire 30 career, I've never done this. I literally kept playing a song and I look around. Nobody's really kind of paying attention. Everybody's playing pool. I literally look up, all of a sudden, I lean over and I puke 4 times on stage. I sit back up and no one caught it. I'm like, so I get through that song. I look at the owner. He's behind the bar, and I go, I have to stop. I had like 2 hours left. He's like, well, I can't see. I'm done. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not.
I have to stop. I go, you don't even have to pay me. I mean, I'll just do it for free. But he's like, are you going to get home? I go, I got an Uber. I can't drive home, man. I mean, there's no way I can drive home. So I felt so bad. I didn't get a gig there for like 10 more months. I'm like, I thought he hated me. He's like, no, man, we've just been busy. I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought you hated my ass. No, man, it's kind of funny. He goes, watching you. I go, you saw me puke? Yeah, I did. I didn't want to say anything. I'm going to embarrass you. Like, yeah, but I mean, and that was,
well,
and that
so
was like
he
2
said he
years
was
ago.
Ubering home, so we can gauge how long ago this was at least.
Yeah. It was like literally 2 years ago. And I'm like, I'm 48 years old, man. I can't be doing shit like that anymore. You know what I mean?
Moral of the story:
Yeah.
dabs are dangerous.
Yes. Especially when you don't eat and you drink a ton of shots.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. But hey, I mean,
it's been a great ride. I mean,
think about some of the music that's made, though. I mean, honestly, how good would some of the jazz musicians have been if
without weed?
If they were sober?
They wouldn't be good at all.
It'd be dull.
I wonder how good they would have been when they were, in those times when they're just, Look at imagine if Hendrix was sober.
No,
I
don't want to imagine that at all.
Would he have had that creativity?
I'm gonna say maybe
you know what I mean?
the creativity point of it, but I think playing wise, they're better when they're sober. But I think
absolutely.
But I think that creativity wise, that there's
a
a door
freedom
that
there.
opens up when
A little fine line you got to straddle.
It is.
Yeah.
Right, drunk, edit, sober.
Exactly.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Get a
Exactly.
tattoo of that.
I like
Well,
that.
it's-
I like
it-
that
it-
saying. That's
it's-
probably
I
one of the
used
best
to
things
do-
I've ever heard. I struggle with that. It's like, do I
struggle
have a
with
drink right now? Do I smoke right now?
I struggle with
I'm
that.
supposed to be working on
You
this,
should
editing
be
this
fucked
video.
up doing your shit.
Best way to do it. That's the best way. When I was DJing, I'd come home from being at the club all night at 2 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden I'm putting like weird mashup mixes together where, I'm doing like Billie Jean versus on top of, just ABBA.
Hell yeah.
Do you pirate radio?
No, it was
Oh,
long
why
ago.
not?
I used
Why
to.
not?
Yeah, this was long ago, but that was my
I'd
creative
listen.
spot.
Yeah.
I was already DJing
Jessica,
for the last like
don't.
4 or 5 hours. I was DJing like the last 4 or 5 hours, so I'm already
His
in the
eyes lit up when
zone.
you said that.
But
I've been there.
well, and then I remember I did I also did like a Herbie Hancock and Michael Jackson one. Rocket Underneath All
Yeah.
Things.
Oh,
My
yeah.
buddy did oh gosh, what was it? Oh shoot, now my brain's not going to work on something. It was like California Love with ABBA underneath it or something too.
A lot of
It was
ABBA.
just, I don't know why. There was a time there where I was working actually a disco side. It was a bar called it was a retro bar, but they had one big side for all 80s, and then they had a little disco room. And I don't know if you guys know much about trying to mix music from that's got live instruments and
Without-
shit, and
yeah.
some of that. But trying to mix disco is just giant pain in the. I don't know how they did it back then. I don't think they actually mixed it.
They didn't
'cause
use click tracks back then.
my
either.
job was to mix it, not just slam in between stuff, But yeah, trying to mix into anything disco was just a giant pain. I hated that one. But my mindset was in a lot of that weird stuff. But we were just I did 3 years live on the radio, doing a retro show, all mixed straight from the club, all out on live on air. Trying to mix that. I was drunk off my ass so many times. I got fired. I got fired for mixing because it was the last song for the show, and I got fired for mixing out of AC/DC into Sweet Caroline.
That's fantastic.
It was the perfect mix
Yeah.
too. It was 100. I mixed over. I mixed
118 beats
128
in there, 120 beats, yeah.
Right, but I mixed 128 beats overlap.
Totally.
And out of that, and because the bar owner hates hated Sweet Caroline, and I think I did it just because he hated Sweet Caroline. But they's like, yeah, you're not coming back.
Well, that's why I kind of
But that was a beautiful mix.
I read that was a song that people put on the jukeboxes to get people to leave.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The bar owners come up, they
Ike's
put it
touch
on
tunes
so
and
that
people-
people
But
leave.
everyone, but the thing is, no matter
But
if
the
they
bar
hate the
is-
song, when it gets to the bop, bop, bop part, everybody's like, bop, bop, bop.
The bar
every
loved
time.
it. Everybody was having a blast.
Well, when you're in party mode, I feel like it
yeah.
is a blast.
It's
College
compulsive.
songs,
You don't even realize
yeah.
you do it.
Well, that's when I started doing. They call them mashups. So like I was doing mashups a long time ago before they were called mashups, and like I started doing one, and I swear to God, it works. It's "Imagine" by John Lennon into "Jump" by Van Halen.
Sorry.
What?
Because they're the same chords. I swear to God, it works. I don't know how it works, but it does. And people are like, I play Imagine, I go into Jump, like, are you real? I'm like, yeah, I'm on try this out. And John Lennon to Van Halen. It works, trust me. It works.
Yeah, the mashups were big there for a while, and you'd be surprised all the different things that really just straight up work out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
They were awesome. Yeah,
I've done 20-minute versions of songs where there's like 12 songs, and they're all the same.
Well, it's the four chords, right?
Exactly.
They're all four chords.
The four-chord song.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. We need to get Monica on, right?
Yep,
I
more
think
beer.
We forgot that.
Yeah.
If we can keep drinking
This
and
is our
talking.
bar, so.
Yeah, again, we don't have a time limit. We can keep running if you guys are having fun, and we can keep chatting and telling stories.
I'm enjoying myself.
All right, cheers.
Me too. Cheers.
See the girl in the parking lot, rode hard, giving what she got. When she was young, she was red hot, but she soon became the one that everybody forgot. All right. There's a boy with a sawed-off shotgun. His dreams are different from the time that he was young. The time that he was gonna get some. He messed it up and now he's on the run. When you fall, it doesn't take too long. But when you try to climb your way above the wall, you find you're far too gone. Far too gone. See the pusher standing way over there. He got a gold tooth and a 10-mile stare. He thought one day he was gonna get somewhere, but now he's looking at a day with the electric chair. Young kid don't know what to do. He's got no home and his family needs food. He wants to go to school and learn the golden rule, but he's got it there. Now what would you do? Man in a cell with a tube in his vein. When he was just a kid, he was a bad man. Judge gave him life and threw away his plans, but after 60 years he can't even understand. When you fall, it doesn't take too long. But when you try